Baba tells us that we have to become completely pure. Now you see that I, the soul, in my original state, I have no trace of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. Yes, but now I have all the five vices. And you see that when we listen to Baba and when Baba tells us that originally you're free from lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, then the only vice that makes sense to us is anger. Because anger has been, anger is not celebrated. Yes, so anger has been disapproved of. Yes, you have rituals and celebrations of lust. You have rituals and celebrations of ego and attachment. But you don't celebrate anger. Yes, when somebody gets angry for the first time, people don't celebrate it. They don't, offer some bhog to God that my child's got angry for the first time. But even with anger, when you're a child and you get angry, people say that's very cute. And then, you think that it's very cute to throw tantrums and to be angry. And that is only one belief system which I think goes against anger. And there is also this thing about, being wrong when you are wrongly angry. So there is righteous anger, and then righteous anger is celebrated in the world. So, people say that when you are right in being angry, when you are angry on something that's wrong, then that's right. So that's another kind of celebration of anger. And these days there is a third kind of celebration, which is, you are angry because you have some, you are angry because you're mentally not well. So people also say that, it's okay to be angry in that situation. And then that anger is, there was this one brother, and he used to just break everything around when he used to be angry. And then he was diagnosed with some mental illness. And then he told me that, in that condition, it always is like this. In that condition, you break everything. In that condition, you become angry. So, I can't help it. So I said, I don't think you can't help it, but you have really accepted that I don't want to help it. So, sometimes that also is a third way in which anger is being kind of approved of or celebrated. But otherwise anger is mostly looked upon as something not okay. So people, when you get angry, you get messages that you're doing something wrong. So that's why there is in us, deep within us, there is this thing that I want to get rid of anger. But I want to get rid of lust or attachment or ego, or greed. I don't know, there is that, even that quest to get rid of that is there. Because you see, it is so celebrated. People get married and it's a huge celebration of lust. that, my child is entering into this phase of being very lustful, and that's very good, and people give blessings for that, and it's celebrated so much. And in India, when you hit puberty also, then it's celebrated in the case of girls, because they think that this is the door to being lustful. So so you are ready to walk down that path, and so people are giving you blessings because you are ready to go into lust. And so in this whole 63 births, it has become such a convoluted and wounded story that now when Baba comes and tells us that lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed are vices, and there is no trace of these vices in your original state, it becomes very difficult to get it, because to be, you think that being physically relevant, socially relevant, or being just relevant is all about being vicious. So sometimes you feel that somebody who is free from lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, they are irrelevant to this world, right? So what do you do in this world when you're free from these vices? Because this world is all about celebrating lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. And then you see you got something in the form of success, and then people want to celebrate it, and the only way they know how to celebrate is drink alcohol, and they want you to also drink alcohol and be happy about it. And then when you stop doing that, then they inevitably say that what good is your success for them? So if you can't celebrate it viciously, or if you're not overexcited about it. Now you see, ego will tell you that you have to be overexcited when you get success the mundane way, or you have to feel disheartened when you fail in the mundane way. But if you stop doing that, then you become a kind of a mystery for the whole world, because they don't understand why you're doing what you're doing because you're not getting overexcited, or you're not getting disheartened. So people tell us, and I have heard this many times, that people walk up to me and they will say that if you people are leaving the vices, then as well leave the world. Because why do you have to be in relationships, and why do you have to do work? Why do you have to even fend for your own body? Because if work doesn't make you happy, the rewards doesn't make you happy, they don't matter, or the relationships, it doesn't matter whether they are there or they change, then you might as well leave all of them. And you should be okay leaving them, because you see, we do not know how to operate without lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. And then people will say that if you want to be lust free in a marriage, then leave the marriage, because marriage is all about lust. But is marriage all about lust? That is the question, because the law also says that. You go to if there is a legal situation where somebody is contesting that this person is not fulfilling my aim, objective of lust, then the law also supports that person, that yes, this marriage is null and void, and this marriage doesn't work, because marriage is all about lust. So Baba tells us that when I come and I tell you that lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed are not your original nature, then there is a whole 63 births of sanskars and tendencies that fight with it. And then you think about a lot of stuff, and I think being free from vices is very easy, but I think wanting to be free from vices is the difficult part. And wanting to be free from vices comes from this deep realization that, actually, and when you're wearing these colored glasses of vicious belief systems for so long, they color your vision so much that it's very difficult to look beyond this thing. So, that I remember when I first heard in the class that you are not a body, you are not the body, you are the soul in the body. Then, looking beyond the body was very difficult because you always look at the body. Yes, whether it's your body, whether it's somebody else's body, you're always looking at the body, and whether somebody is happy, unhappy, somebody is sick, well, so everything, or whether somebody deserves respect or doesn't deserve respect, or somebody deserves my love, doesn't deserve my love, or how I need to behave with somebody is all about what I see, whether it is by way of what they look or how they behave. And then when I first learned that you have to not look at all those things and just know that this is a soul and every soul deserves love and respect, and talk to the soul, then so many things come in your way. There are so many things that are coming in your way, what they are doing, what they are saying, how they are behaving, how they are appearing, and to dismiss all of that and just maintain love and respect was a big deal. I found it really hard to work through all those layers of what I had been conditioned to see, and then see just the soul, because in the beginning I used to ask this question, but why respect somebody who is not even an asset for themselves or the society? So, somebody is just wasting their time, wasting their life, wasting everything that they have, and then why do I need to respect them? So I used to just question this so much, because for me, I think the deepest sanskar was being karma conscious. I was not very body conscious, but I was very karma conscious, that everybody should be very, everybody should give in their best to work and be contribute to society, or contribute to at least themselves. At least if you have come on, if you're here, then at least fend for your own body. And I used to really have no respect for people who couldn't fend for their own bodies. But it took me a long time to see that everybody, despite what they have, what they do, what they say, how they be, how they appear, everybody deserves love and respect. And it takes a long time, because you see, these layers and layers of conditioning, they mess up with you, and that is what. And I think Maya is more about arriving at this place where you want to be soul conscious, where you want to be free from vices, rather than this place where you have the capacity. Everybody has the capacity. But I think this wanting to be, and all the belief systems that don't want you to be loveful and respectful, that stop you and tell you that this person doesn't deserve love and respect, that belief system has to be overcome. And then you arrive at that place where you are able to do it, because you have dismissed that belief system. Now, you see, similarly, lust is so ingrained that you see everybody, that you see another person as an object of sensual pleasure. And that that vision of lust has expanded so much in the last few years that now it includes not only the opposite gender but also the same gender, and there are so many other things which have now become normal and okay. And then you look at everybody, almost everybody you look at with this vision that this is an object of sensual pleasure, and you think that, barring some things, which again is different according to what morality you follow. So maybe individual morality again comes into play, where you say that maybe children are not to be seen with that vision, or maybe some other, maybe it depends on your morality basically. So morally maybe you think that, oh, apart from children, everybody is prone to everybody is a potential object of satisfying sensual pleasure. And then you think, you allow your mind, you allow your intellect to look at everybody like that. And then according to morality, brothers and sisters are not in that in that zone. So that also differs from religion to religion, because in some religion brothers and sisters are also allowed. So then you or cousins are allowed, if not children from the same parents. So those things also are an aspect of morality. Otherwise, almost everybody is an object of sensual pleasure, and that is how we are conditioned to think. And then these days people don't even think that you are violating somebody's dignity by thinking viciously about them, because you assume that everybody is as vicious as you, so you are also fulfilling their desires by giving into your vices. So these are the kind of belief systems that we are dealing with. Now Baba comes and tells us that lust is not your quality at all, and you have to be free from lust. And Baba gives a very simple yukti, a very simple attitude which you can use as use that will enable you to become pure. And that yukti is that as souls, we are all brothers in the soul world. So in the soul world, there is no other relationship, just father and brothers, because there is not even the question of brother and sister in the soul world. And here, when Baba comes, Baba adopts us through Brahma Baba. And every child of Baba is a BK. Now, when you say, I am BK so and so, so have you started using that surname from Baba? So, BK, yes, just like I write BK Shilpa, so you are BK so and so, right? So now, when you are a BK, what does that mean? You are using the title of Brahma Baba. Yes, you are using the title of Brahma Baba. You are using the surname of Brahma Baba. So when you are a Brahma Kumar or Brahma Kumari, then you are using the surname of Brahma Baba. And every BK is a brother and sister, because we belong to the same father and have the same surname. Right? And then what do? Have fraternal drishti with BKs and the rest of the world? Rest of the world is again an object of sensual pleasure. So no, everybody, every soul is either a present BK or a potential BK. Yes, because everybody is the child of Shiv Baba, waiting to be adopted by Shiv Baba through Brahma Baba. And it's your duty to bring that introduction to that child. So you cannot have that vision for any soul in the world. And Baba says, this is a yukti. It's not like we are brothers and sisters or something. Although, in the world, it's a very prevalent thing that whenever a sabha or an assembly is addressed, they will say, my brothers and sisters. Yes, so, and if the wife is sitting in the assembly, will they say, my brothers, sisters, and my wife? No, they will still say brothers and sisters, because that is how we are addressing everybody. But Baba today says something very interesting. Baba says, it's not like you are technically brothers and sisters or something. In this world, you're playing roles and you are that to each other. Yes, a Maharani is a Maharani to the Maharaja in Satyug also. And Baba says the Maharaja will not address the Maharani as, Sister Maharani. No, that's not happening in Satyug. So Baba says, it's not like you are brothers and sisters and then you perform some treason and then you are here. No, it's not like that. But Baba says, if you want to overcome this sanskar of impurity and this drishti, this criminal drishti which looks at everybody as an object of sensual pleasure, then you can use this yukti, you can use this tool of thinking that everybody is my brother and sister because we belong to the same parent. Yes, if you want to overcome that. Otherwise, it's not technically that Baba is saying, no, you are brothers and sisters, technically, no. Baba says, in the soul world, you're brothers. But then, once you come here, you are actors and you identify with the roles, and that's okay. But even when you were performing the roles, Baba says that in Satyug, the Maharaja will not say Maharani sister, yes? But the Maharaja will not have vicious drishti for the Maharani. So Baba says, in Satyug also there are all the relationships. There is the relationship of husband and wife. There is the relationship of, the Raja and the Sahukar or the Praja. There is the relationship of, one who is higher in the hierarchy, lower in the hierarchy. But there is no vice in Satyug. So Baba says that's why you don't need to use this terminology. But now you are using it mentally, not even, that you keep saying it in front of everybody and keep, that's not what Baba is saying us. The Baba is not asking you to address your husband as brother in front of 100 people. That's something you have to know, that we are children of one father. That's it. And you have to overcome your vices through that attitude. And you have to understand it's just a role we are playing. And originally, every role we played was without lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. And you see, this is why up until today, when you go to a temple, you can never have vicious drishti for a deity. Yes, why? Because they never had vicious drishti in that yuga. So that's why when you go and see a deity, even the picture of a deity, idol of a deity, you cannot have vicious drishti, because that vicelessness is the truth of Satyug. So that respect is the truth of Satyug. So that is what we want to, again go back to. And Baba says that you want to become a jewel. So Baba says in the end there will be 8 jewels. And those 8 jewels will take their place of being jewels through this one thing, that their mind is free of every vicious thought and their drishti doesn't have criminal vision. But Baba says for this you have to be far-sighted. Yes, be far-sighted. Don't look at the body, look at the soul that's in the body. Don't look at the relationship that you share now. Think about the relationship you have with that soul in the soul world, and think about the relationship you have in Satyug with that soul. So then you become, when you start looking beyond the body, beyond the present relationship, and you start thinking about the soul and having a relationship with the soul, then you start overcoming your sanskar of impurity. And Baba gives us the example of jewels, flowers, angels, and Baba says that jewels are number wise, flowers are number wise, and angels are number wise. Yes, and do you know that jewels are also called emerald, topaz, diamond. So there are so many names given to jewels, and everything counts as a jewel, but then they don't have the same value when you purchase them. And Baba says that you are also turning into jewels, but if you turn out to be the best ones, then in bhakti, from the copper age, there is this thing about 8 jewels. And these 8 jewels are worn whenever you think that there is some bad omen on you. And when somebody wears that ring or something of that 8 jewels, then they say that those omens were warded off. Now Baba says that just like the images of deities are still giving us peace and contentment. When you go to a temple, is the deity there? No. But the deity's image is able to give you peace and contentment because it's the image of the deity. And that image also has some power. And Baba says that those jewels have that power because that's created in the memory of you, the jewel, who is going to be, who is going to overcome all their vices. And when you overcome all your vices, then all bad omens are finished and you go to Satyug. So in memory of you, when they wear those jewels, their omens are warded off. So you have to become that jewel. And Baba says you have to become the flower that, when Baba used to be in the Sakar form, Baba used to bring a basket of flowers. And then he would give every child a flower. Not everybody, but sometimes Baba would give some flowers to some children. And sometimes he would give it to everybody. But who would deserve a flower from Baba? Somebody who becomes a flower. And what is a flower? A flower stands for that fragrance of purity. Do you want a flower from Baba? Yes, when Baba comes, if he gives a flower to me and not to you, would you like it? No. But Baba says that sometimes it also happens that maybe Baba won't give me a flower but will give you a flower. if you become purer than me. So Baba says that you should become worthy enough to deserve a flower from Baba. And Baba tells very categorically that I really see the fragrance of the child. I sometimes feel that the fragrance of the child who is studying is more than the one who is teaching. And I give that child a flower. But you have to become that pure. And Baba says that I want to create a garden, and in that garden there are many flowers. There's a variety of flowers, and you have to be the best one. And then Baba says there is also people say about angels, and angels are, again, in Hindi they say Pukhraj Pari, Neelam Pari, Sabz Pari. So they are also named after jewels. And Baba says, what kind of an angel are you becoming? Just see. Now, Baba also tells us something very interesting today. Baba says that, sometimes you see that children are walking on this path shown by Baba, and suddenly you see that those children are, until yesterday, they used to understand everything and they used to nod at everything. But today they are not understanding anything and they are not nodding at anything, and they are just becoming aloof day by day. Now, you see, Baba talks about this thing today, that there is a story in the Shastras about a demon taking the form of a fairy and sitting in the Indra Sabha, where Indra is, in that Indra Sabha, everybody is drinking nectar, and in that congregation, that Asur sits and drinks nectar disguised as a fairy. And Baba says that when that happens, then in the story they say that Asur becomes a stone. Yes, so Baba says that story is about this time when, if we keep listening to Gyan, but we are not making that effort to become lust free, anger free, ego free, attachment free, greed free, and we are not even on the same page with Baba, where I think that vices are not my original state, and I keep indulging in vices over and over again and keep listening to Gyan, then there comes a point when Gyan doesn't make sense. But that doesn't happen because Gyan doesn't make sense, but because you are drinking the nectar of knowledge but equally engaging in vices, then your intellect becomes dysfunctional. Then you can't appreciate Gyan anymore. And Baba says it's not about somebody becoming a stone, but somebody becoming stone intellect. And I remember there was this one brother, and he used to be very interested in Murli, and after the Murli he would tell Dharn points to remember, and he was very good. And then slowly, gradually, he started yawning and sleeping in the Murli. And then I thought, what is the reason? And then we couldn't figure out. And then one day his wife told me that he's going to, he's doing everything against Srimad. He's going into lust, and he's doing all kinds of, food habits and other stuff. Everything is against Srimad. So this is a law that only when you indulge in vices, your intellect loses its capacity to understand and process Gyan. And you see that, of course, Baba knows that there is a process. It's not like one day you meet Baba and second day you become pure. No. But it's the intention that counts. It's how much you intend to overcome vices and how much effort you make. Even if you fail sometimes, it's okay. But did you fail or did you choose the vice? That's very important, because you see, sometimes, so it's okay to fail. It's okay that you are, if you fail, then what's the process? Rise up instantly. Get up instantly. Again, make effort. But if you're not even making effort and you're choosing to be vicious, that also is allowed for some time, because you see, when we are very new, then until our intellect gets it, Baba gives us that margin also. But after a point of time, if you don't process it, then slowly, gradually, Gyan doesn't make sense to you. So Baba says, and if Gyan doesn't make sense to you, then it's only downhill after that, because Baba is the only savior that we have. So Baba says, that's why just keep checking what you are getting. Just keep, Baba gives us so much understanding. Just keep imbibing that understanding and become somebody who is fighting against their vices, not choosing vices. Okay, Om Shanti.